good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I had to quit you because I was in the conversation and you jumped in. So, yes, please start your presentation. You have 10 minutes.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Carlos Torres, and today I'm going to defend my thesis. The topic is the family management model in Mexico. So the initial question was: does the family management of companies in Mexico allow better results than companies with traditional management? The reason for why I select this topic it's because for foreign investors that are entering in a new country to do business, it is necessary to know the culture, and this is an external factor that will affect the company. We can see this in the PESTEL model, which seeks to analyze the environment. Secondly, for the decision making, the behaviors of employers are based on culture. So if we know it, we can understand the organizational culture that will be held in the company and how employees expect that the managers act. This is important because as Mexicans, normally we work in companies with this model, so we expect some behaviors for our managers. Finally, one of my plans for is to create an investment fund which focus on local business and startups. So I need to understand the most popular model in the country to know what challenge I may face in the future. The background inside. Uh, when I do the investigation, I discovered five main topics. The first one is the family business. Uh, the family business refers to an administrative model where the family maintains control of the company and hold most of the votes in the council. This type of company tends to be successful in the service and commercial sector. Their main problem are rigidity in the decision making, emotional conflicts, and the lack of succession plan. The second topic is the importance of the family in Mexico. In this, I discover uh, the position of the family in the life of the Mexicans and how it we can and how can we understand the loyalty and the commitment that Mexicans have to the family and how we can apply this to the organizational culture of the company. The next topic is the succession plan. Um, this helps the company to maintain its history, its values, and its vision of the regional founders. Mainly, it solves the problem of lack of leadership, since it's encourage who will run the company at the time that the current director retires. Uh, the next subtopic is the corporate governance. I discovered that this is a model that seeks to eliminate emotional conflicts because decisions are made by board of members who are expert in their respective area. And finally, the main family business in Mexico. Uh, this is important because you can understand all the background of the country because it allows to analyze the context of the business in Mexico, and you can see that the part of the most important companies in the country are family business. For the methodology, I select the quantitative method because it allows to analyze phenomena from perspective of the participants. After that, I decide to use the semi-structured interview, since it's recommended to use this tool when dealing with complex topics. Uh, the sample was 5 interviews. All the sample are company director of Mexican SMEs, and the age range was was uh, 45 to 53 years old. As we can see in the table, all are Mexicans, all are owners of company or director of company. I do all the interviews with um, in social media because I at this time I was in France, so I need to do these interviews with Mexican directors. So the only way that I have is use internet to do the interviews. The results, the result that were obtained through the interview allow us to analyze the cultural aspects of the family in Mexico, because the interviewers explained that the family is the pillar of society and it supports in people's lives. In addition to mentioning that the family is never betrayed. Additionally, they mentioned that what are the advantages that they detect in the model, such as graded commitments, since they know that any mistake they make will affect the family, as well as a higher level of satisfaction on the part of the employees, since they feel as part of the family. Finally, they allow us to understand how this model develops in their families. Among the main observation, it's that many of them shows this model because it's what that everyone does. Additionally, we can see how they are thinking about the future and preparing their succession plan. The conclusion was that this academic research is limited by the few information that exists regarding to this topic. It is recommended that more research should be done related to the organizational contour of the family business. Recommendation can be made with information obtained to this research, such as the use of family behaviors within the company without the need to include the family. This is a management recommendation. You can do this thinking of the company as a family and each employee as a shield. In this way, they will always seek to protect the employee, and this will be reflected in a greater loyalty on their part. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that you have respected the time and presented a nice presentation about your thesis. I would like to seek some clarification if you could help me out.
Yeah.
So your question was to understand whether family businesses are better or not, right? Or
Yeah.
family, does the family management allow better results? So
Yeah.
when you say family management, what do you mean by that? Second, when you say results, what do you mean by that?
Okay. In the beginner, I want to do a investigation about the financial results of the companies. Uh, I do this in Bloomberg, and I see that the big family companies, because the small 10% this information, the big family business in Mexico have better financial results than the other companies. So what I try to do is understand if the SMEs can have these results, not only financial, because in these companies it's difficult to understand the financial part, but also in the culture part, how the employees feel, um, how they manage the administration.
So you did not in your thesis talk about your kind of pre-thesis research using Bloomberg that family businesses, financial results are better. So there is no such information in your thesis.
I know. I only research did before make the question, because they asked us for do a previous research, but I know I included that in the.
And what do you mean by family management?
It's companies that the directors of the owners of the company are the family, and they have 15 of more percentage of the uh, stocks.
And have you also interviewed those firms which are not managed by family but which are family firms, and also those firms which are neither family nor run by family?
Can you repeat the question? I
Yes.
can hear.
Your question is, does family management allow better results? You know, it's kind of whether, it's kind of a comparative question that you are posing. I'm going to, this question gave me an impression that you were interested to look at whether those firms which are owned by family and also run by family perform better or not, right?
Yeah.
So that this is what your question implied. But you only interviewed family businesses that were run by family members or managed by family members. So my question is that why didn't you do a comparative study? Why didn't you interview those firms which were not managed by family? And then you would have some information that might help you to draw some conclusion whether family management help firms to perform better.
Okay. In Mexico, only 7% of the business are not family, so it's difficult to find a business that is not managed by the family. That's the reason
No,
why.
well, I don't believe actually. Larger companies listed on stock exchange not necessarily are run and by family managers, or it also depends how much percentage of non-family members sit on the board. So that is not a good excuse not to go, because otherwise your research question is problematic. And then my second question is, what are you really presenting? I mean, you are presenting information that was shared by family managers, right? The problems that they face. But, I cannot, help me understand from the information that you get from the family, how you can say that they perform better.
Okay. You can see that they have more of loyalty and commitment. This is important
Yeah, this
when.
is what the manager is saying. Did you ask the employee whether they are loyal?
Sorry.
Yeah, that was the manager or the director or your interviewee that shared that, we can expect more loyalty from the employees. But did you interview employees as well
Yeah.
to check whether they are loyal?
They explain me that I think that the one is in the thesis don't explain that, but the others do. They explain that they see their employees like their family, so they want to protect always the employee, and the employee responds to that with more loyalty than the normal. So obviously, if you have more loyalty in your business gonna go better because you can trust in all the parts of the business.
Did you conduct the interviews in the native language of the speakers?
Yeah.
You shared a kind of a transcript. So how did you transcribe the interview?
I translated that because all.
But normally WhatsApp videos are not recorded. So how can you transcribe the video interview that is not recorded?
Because I can record all the videos with my laptop.
No, WhatsApp videos through laptop cannot be done.
It's because I use a gamer laptop, so I can um, record all the things that pass in my computer.
No, but then if I could understand, on the WhatsApp, there is an option to use the web interface, but that web interface cannot be used to even have a video chat.
Sorry, can you repeat it?
How have you recorded WhatsApp video?
Yeah, I can do a video call and I can record it because my laptop has software to do this.
All right. So, yeah, there is no such information, at least in your thesis. It should have been there. Let me conclude. If I were in your place, what I would have done. First, I would mention why I'm motivated, in terms of, what motivated me to focus on the research topic that I've selected. And I will be more transparent. I'll say that I've done some preliminary research and that the family businesses, it seems to perform better financially. And here is the data of my preliminary research. So I'm going to go into the field. I'm going to check the companies that are owned, means that are family firms, and that are also run by family firms, to see why they succeed, what kind of factors differentiate those firms from other non-family managed firms. So the questions then would not be that whether they perform better or not. The question would be why they perform better compared to others. That's the first thing I would have done. Secondly, I would also kind of do some research on those firms that are in the same sector, that are family firms but are not run by family firms, right? So there is a kind of a person who have appointed a manager who runs full time that firm, and that owner of the family is kind of, periodically just check, is everything going fine, not run the day-to-day operation. And then I will identify the factors, whether these firms, how these firms differ from the firms that are managed and run by family members. Thirdly, I will also go and do research on those firms that are neither family owned nor family managed, to see why they perform better or why they do not perform better. For example, you highlighted employee loyalty. So I do not understand if an employee is not loyal to whosoever is paying them, then that person should be fired. So, being an employee, you take the responsibility of being loyal to your employer, right? So there is, regardless of principal agency conflict, this is, we expect that our employees at least will honor the work or the tasks that are given to them. So, the few of the factors that you also have highlighted, these are quite intuitive. So I really would go in, if I were in your case, I would go beyond what is suggested by directors and to identify from the transcript specific factors that differentiate family firms from non-family firms in terms of performance. Okay?
Okay.
So, keep these comments in mind when you will be doing research of this kind in your career. All right?
Okay.
Okay, then take care. I have to attend another meeting. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.